Welcome to episode 5 of the Monday Minute for Business Owners. Why do entrepreneurs fail in the Dragon's Den? Big question. I'm sure many people ask the same. We all watch it, we get entertained by it. Sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're sad. There's people with great ideas, there's people with not so great ideas. But for me, that's not the key to success. I think there's 3 keys to success in the Dragon's Den. One is the person. Is the person likable? Do they come across well? Do they come across as someone that the Dragon can work with? On one of the episodes I watched at the weekend, the guy was just not particularly nice. He was a sort of person that nobody really wanted to work with. And whether he had a good idea or not, and whether he had a business that could have made money, it probably wasn't going to make any difference to most of the Dragons. They just don't want to spend time with him. And it's like how I choose my clients as well. I want to work with people that I get on with, people I enjoy spending time with, because we spend a lot of time together and we share our stories. So the key there is make sure you come across well and make sure that you're likable. The second key to success is, where did the idea come from? I like to understand the story behind it. When I invest in opportunities, I always ask the entrepreneur, what inspired your idea? And often it comes from a personal challenge or something they've had a problem with, or it may be a family member who's had a problem. And that gives them the passion and the drive to want to take this forward. And that can be much more important than just having a basic business idea. If there's that passion, it takes the business a lot further. And as part of that story, the entrepreneur has to get across that there is an opportunity, there's a market, and very importantly, the Dragons are actually going to make money from this. It's quite clearly not a charity, as everyone will have seen. So that has to come across with the passion that they're going to make money from it. The numbers. This is the bit I love. This is the bit where so many people have done well for the first 80% of their discussion, and then they just fail miserably here. They have no idea where they are. As I always talk about, it's important for an entrepreneur to know where they are, where they've been, and where they're going. And they've got to know some of those high-level numbers off the top of their heads so they can engage in discussion. The entrepreneur who's clearly got a great idea, who's clearly passionate, but they just fall down in terms of their understanding of the numbers. You don't need to understand all of the numbers, but you need to understand some of the high-level numbers. You need to understand your turnover last year, next year, future. You need to understand the gross margins you make on your product or your service. You need to understand the net profit that generates after taking account of all your overheads. And more importantly, you need to understand your cash. How much cash do you have now? How much cash do you need to get on that journey? And how much of that cash are you asking the Dragon for? Because investors don't like to invest today and wait for you to ask for them for more cash somewhere further down the line. They want to understand that now. So having got across those 3 keys to success, we then come to the valuation. And again, it can go horribly wrong here. The episode I watched at the weekend, one, the valuation was very high. It was ridiculously high. It was a multiple of turnover, and it was just completely unjustifiable. One was on the low side, which really surprised me. But what happened in that situation was that there was 5 offers. So my advice is, when you're looking for investment, be sensible. Look at what your investor is bringing, not just the money. Look at their skills, their expertise, their contacts. So be realistic, be prepared to compromise, and understand the values of having a Dragon or a key investor on board and being part of your company. It can make a huge difference. I just agreed on a deal, an arrangement with an investor on behalf of one of my clients this week, and what they bring is so much more than the money. And I know that will make the business much more valuable going forward. So my advice is, the next time you're sitting in front of the bank or potential investors, think about Dragon's Den. Think about the ones that have gone right. Think about the ones that have gone badly, and make sure you're well prepared. Understand your numbers. Have 3 or 4 key numbers in mind from your historics and from your forecast. Understand why you're asking for the money you're understanding. Have a reasonable valuation, and good luck. If you want to hear more of these Monday morning minutes for business owners, please connect with me, and you won't miss anything going forward. Thank you.